Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What is going on, guys? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. Hope everybody's doing well today. I've got a super fast micro episode for you, and we're just going to be talking about some common objections that we all get in the home service business game when you're out doing quotes, giving pricing in person, over the phone, etc. And some of these things I'm going to talk about real quick are going to maybe just help you get your brain moving a little bit, because here's what happens. A lot of you guys are getting objections and you're just simply taking them and then saying, I'll just follow up with you guys later, and then you never close the deal. And so I just want to go over a couple things that I used to do, that I currently do, that are working for me. But before we dive in, you guys know, as always, I own ServiceIndustryCoach.com. We are your go-to one-stop shop for marketing and consulting for your home service business. Print marketing, Google ads, Facebook ads, the whole thing, branding, logo designs, truck wrap designs. Essentially what we do in our company is implement the systems that I have created in my own businesses that are proven to work, that I've implemented in hundreds of home service businesses all across the country, and I do it for yours. Okay? It's a massive hack, and it's why so many people love working with us and have such good success with our marketing, is because it's not guessing anymore. We simply implement the things we know work. So if you think you might need help growing, then I want to be the guy to help you. So please reach out, ServiceIndustryCoach.com, or the link is in the show notes. Second thing is the Facebook group is still there. It's still live. It's still active, and it is still growing, except it doesn't have you in it yet. You know who I'm talking to, you. So go click the link in the show notes. Join it. Do me a favor, though. When you join, you got to tell me what kind of business you own, or else I will not let you in. Okay? No spammers. So like I said, today's going to be a fast episode. Normally my episodes are like 20 minutes. This is likely going to be a lot faster than that on purpose. And I kind of just want to go over the top 2 or 3 most common objections we get in the home service business space, and just kind of how I go about them. And you guys can put your own twist on this. By the way, everything I'm going to say today, if you want to implement this in your business, you need to practice, because you are going to fall on your face time and time again, but the only way you get better is by doing it over and over again. You would be shocked if someone had a microphone or camera sitting on my wall, how often I'm talking to myself, running through my sales pitches, everything, okay? Because I want to be good when I'm in front of the customer. I don't want to be practicing in front of the customer, all right? So don't beat yourself up if you start trying this stuff and you're like, oh, I can't do it. Nobody can do it right away, all right? You gotta practice. And by the way, I will say this as a disclaimer. I am by no means an A-plus sales coach. However, I do pretty good in the sales game, but there's guys out there way better than me. However, I don't really know anyone that good in our space. So I wanted to make this because I think everybody can relate to it. All right. So objection number 1, Matt, I just need to think about it. Right. And actually, before I get into that, let me just kind of, I guess, walk you through what will help you guys a lot with objections. Okay. In my first business, which is my exterior cleaning business, this is what we would do, and why our close rates were so high was because of our process of how we gave estimates. You guys know, if you've been listening to the podcast for any period of time, you know that I am a complete advocate as long as you can afford to do it and it makes sense to do in-person estimates. Now, for our cleaning business, it made sense because we had a estimate sheet that upsold the customer without me really even having to say a single word. And I knew that we had higher average order values if I was in person presenting it to the customer versus just giving them a price over the phone for the single service. Because I knew, let's say they call for window cleaning, that there's a good chance they need gutter cleaning and maybe house washing. And if I'm in front of them and I can show them the needs that they, or the things that are wrong with the house that I can fix while I'm there, then there's a good chance that I might be able to get the average order value higher. Okay. So this is why I like doing it in person. Now, Here's how most people do it if they do it in person. Knock, knock, knock. Homeowner answers the door. Hey, Mrs. Jones, my name is Matt. I'm from the Dirt Hunter. I'm here to give you an estimate. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do a quick walk around and then I'll knock on the door and I'll give you a price. All right, great. See how that just feels like lame, dude? Like no one's excited about that. Here's how it should sound. Okay, and I want you to listen to my tonality a little bit. Knock, knock, knock. Homeowner answers the door. Hey, Mrs. Jones, my name's Matt. How are you? You guys hear that? It's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more excited. Oh, hey, Matt. Like I'm really good. Awesome. Hey, just so I don't waste your time or mine, my iPad here shows that I'm here to give you a house washing quote. Is that accurate? Yeah, that's accurate. Okay, cool. Well, just so you know, I'm going to do a quick walk around of the whole house. I'm going to take a ton of photos, put them in your profile inside of our system. I'm going to make sure I'm going to do a full inspection for you. So even if I see something that's out of place, even if it's not something we handle, I'll take good close-up photos of it so you can see it. I'll bring it back down to you, and then we can talk about next steps, how we do things, price, all that fun stuff. How's that sound? Good. Okay, perfect. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Okay, right? And so I'm telling her, hey, walking around the house, documenting everything, going to do a good inspection. If I see anything wonky, I'm going to take photos of it so you can see it up close because most people probably aren't getting on their roof to do inspections and all that kind of stuff. So I do my walk around, I document everything that I need for our team. I upload it into our CRM so we have photos of the house in their account. I work up the price, write everything down on the estimate sheet with all of our packages, knock on the door again. She answers, Mrs. Jones, can you do me a massive favor? Can you throw your shoes on real quick? Because I got to show you something on the side of your house. All right. What am I doing? I'm getting the homeowner involved in the process. Okay. I'm getting them bought in. I'm about to go put on a show for the homeowner. Now, if there isn't anything major sticking out on the house, you can still do this. Like for instance, let's say I was going to go there for a house washing quote. And typically, if anyone knows this, one or two sides of the house is always worse than the other because it gets more shade. And so what I might do in that instance is say, hey, can I show you something on the side of the house? And I'm going to take her to the worst side. And then I'm going to tell her everything about how we're going to make it look perfect again, right? So I'll give you an example. She gets her shoes on. Hey, come around the side of the house. I want to show you this real quick. So you see how literally all the siding over here has moss and mildew on it? Yeah. Well, just so you know, we use a soft wash process. So that means we're not going to blast away your siding with high pressure water. And then also you see the gutters up top here. You see those black stripes? Yeah. Most people think that's dirt, but it's not. Oh, what is it? Right? She's asking me, well, what is it? Getting her involved in the process. So what that is, that's actually oxidation on the gutters. And simply washing your house typically won't remove that. But don't worry, we do have a gutter whitening service that we can add on if you want those to look perfect again. I'll explain that to you in a little bit though, okay? Come around the back side of the house, I want to show you this. Boom, so I'm walking her around the house. I'm getting her involved. I'm making her understand the process better. She has no knowledge of what we do or how we do it or what she even needs. But by the time I'm done, she's going to know exactly what she needs. And the difference between me and the last guy is very simple. He went there and he gave her a price and he walked away. He didn't explain anything that I'm explaining. So what is she doing automatically? She's going, man, I wonder if this other guy is going to use a gutter whitening product. I wonder if this other guy uses high pressure and it could put holes in my siding, right? I'm already implanting these things in her mind and I don't even have to do anything except point them out and get her involved in the process. And so what this does is when I'm 20% higher, she doesn't care because all of the concerns that she now has because she has been educated on it, she knows is going to be handled properly by me. So it's worth it rather than taking the risk of paying 20% less to the guy who mentioned nothing. All right, there's your little sales hack to avoid a couple things. Now, let's dive into some objections. I'm actually going to dive into this one first. I know I'd already mentioned I need to think about it. We'll get to that in a minute, but here's a really common one when you give somebody an estimate. Well, I need to talk to my spouse. I need to talk to my husband. I need to talk to my wife. Let me help you avoid the objection of that ever again in your business, okay? This is what you do when somebody calls. Oh, I'm looking for a house washing quote. Okay, perfect. No problem. Let me ask you a question. are you the one that'll be making the buying decision on this, or is there somebody else that's going to need to be involved as well? Well, it'll probably be me and my husband. Okay, perfect. Let's just pick a time that works for both of you. That way I can explain everything that we do to both of you all at once, and then we don't have to kind of relay messages and all that stuff. Perfect. Boom. Now you scheduled the appointment for both people to be home at the same time, and now that objection will never come up. All right, we're moving on from that one because that fixes everything. And let me say this. God forbid, let's just say you show up to the house and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, my husband had to work late. Or I'm sorry, my wife had to work late. Oh, no problem, man. And then you get that objection. I need to talk to my spouse. Hey, John, totally understand. Let me ask you this, all right? Do you think if your spouse knew without a shadow of a doubt that she was going to be able to come home and the house was going to look perfect from the road, it wasn't going to be dirty, have mildew all over the siding anymore, would she be upset about that? Well, no, she wouldn't be upset about that. And let me ask you this, John. When I kind of walked you around the house and showed you our process, you had mentioned to me that, you were a 10 out of 10 on our process and what we do. Why don't we just do this? Why don't we get you on the schedule? We can get you on the schedule for Friday. Now, if your wife comes home and she absolutely wants to kill you and she's going to leave you because you scheduled a house washing to make her house look clean again, then you just call me and I'll cancel. No big deal. But I can almost guarantee that's not going to happen. So let's just get you on the schedule. That way we can eliminate time. And if something changes, God forbid, just give me a call. Boom. You avoided it. By the way, guys, like most of our services aren't that crazy expensive, right? Even if they're $1,000 or whatever the case is. And so that's how I would do that one. Next objection. I need to think about it. You always agree with the customer, okay? You never be like, what do you mean you need to think about it? Okay, this is how I would do this one. Matt, I really just need to think about it. Hey, John, completely understand, right? Agreeing with him, completely understand. If you don't mind me asking, when you say you need to think about it, what is it specifically that you wanted to think about? Okay? So you hear my tonality there, the pauses. John, I completely understand, but let me ask you something if you don't mind. When you say you need to think about it, what is it specifically you're wanting to think about? Okay? Because I need to think about it. It's not even a real objection. There's something deeper than that, and you need to figure out what it is. It's price, it's trust, it's timing, it's something like that, okay? So that's how I would go about that one. And then they're going to be like, well, Matt, it's just the price. It's really expensive. Boom. Now I know that he thinks the price I gave him is too much, okay? John, when you... And this is my second objection I have on here anyway, so we'll roll right into it. John, when you say the price is too expensive, compared to what? Right? And so now I'm going to put him a little bit on the spot. What's he comparing it to? Has he gotten multiple quotes? Did he have a number in his head that he thought? Did he get the house done 25 years ago and he's comparing it to that price? What is it? Well, Matt, I had two other quotes and one came in at $16,000 and one came in at $18,000 and you're at $20,000. It's like, oh, okay. If you don't mind me asking, were the quotes apples to apples? Right? And they never know the answer to that. Okay? But here's another one you'll get with price is they'll go, why are you so much more expensive than everybody else? And you simply just go, like in a confused voice, I don't know. I haven't seen their estimate. Right? Because like, how am I going to answer that question? I don't know why I'm more expensive than the guy that came out before me. I don't even know who came out. Right? It could be some guy who put up some bandit yard sign who doesn't have insurance, who runs his business out of his living room and doesn't, I don't know. I can't answer that question. So it's like, why are you so much more expensive than the other guys? I don't know. I haven't seen their estimate. They're going to look at you and you're going to go, are our estimates apples to apples? Well, yeah, they are. Do they offer you a 50-year manufacturer warranty? Well, no, it didn't. Okay, then they're not apples to apples. So let's do this. Let's compare estimates, and we can make our bid apples to apples. If you're okay with everything they're doing, I can definitely lower the quality of our bid to get closer to what they're doing if you want to work with us rather than them. Well, I don't want to lower the quality. So you guys see where this goes. You take control of the conversation, right? So your price is too high. Hey, totally understand. Do you know if our estimates are apples to apples? Why are you so much more expensive? I don't know. I haven't seen their estimate. Okay? And so tonality, and you ask questions and you simply get them to talk. And oftentimes what you guys will find, if you actually get the courage to try some of this stuff in real life, is what people are telling you originally are not actually the actual objection. Okay. It's just what they're used to telling salespeople to get them out of their house. Or, it's just like you walk into a clothing store and people come up to you that work there. Hey, can I help you? What's the first thing you say? No, I'm just looking. Okay. You're not saying that because you're actually just looking. You're just saying that because you don't want to deal with anybody, right? Like, how many times have you said that? It just comes out. Well, the same thing for them. Oh, I just need to think about it. Oh, I got to talk to my spouse. Oh, your price is too high, right? Oftentimes it's just coming out of their mouth, but that's not the actual objection. And then we'll do this last one just to knock this out. You guys probably get this one a lot. I'm getting 2 or 3 more quotes. John, totally understand. Makes sense. Let me ask you, you mentioned you're getting multiple bids. What is it specifically that's most important to you when choosing a contractor? Like, when you're getting these multiple estimates, what is it specifically that you're looking for in a contractor you're wanting to hire? Okay. You're putting the question back on them. Hey, totally understand. That makes sense, right? I agreed with them. But let me ask you, when you're hiring a contractor, what is it that you're looking for? You're getting multiple estimates. So out of these multiple estimates, what's the specific thing that you're looking for in order to hire a contractor? They're going to be like, well, and everyone's different. Some people are going to be like, I just want the cheapest price. Might not be your customer, right? That's okay. But at least you can be like, well, hey, we're not for everybody. Appreciate your time. I'm out. Because you're not the cheapest guy in town and you don't want to be. But it might be like, honestly, Matt, we just want somebody who's got a fair price, but is also going to install a really good roof with a good warranty and a good product. Hey, I couldn't agree more. Most people honestly say that, so you're not the only one, right? Make them feel like there's a lot of other people who want the same thing as them. Hey, couldn't agree more. John, let me ask you this. As I was walking you around the house and showing you what we do and what our process is, I had asked you, 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, where do you fall in our process as far as whether or not you think it would fit with what you're looking for? And you had said that you were a 10, right? Well, yeah. No, I think your guys' process sounds great. Cool. So let me just ask you this. If you know that you want to get a great warranty and great materials and great service for a fair price, we've already kind of accomplished all that, haven't we? Well, yeah. So let me just say this. Why don't we take time out of the equation? We can get you on the schedule for Friday. We'll get the roof done. You're going to get a great manufacturer warranty. You're going to get it done by a reputable company that has over 250 5-star Google reviews. And we're going to be here for years on end. So if you ever have a problem, you know that you can count on us because we have a track record of taking care of our customers. What do you think? Right? And he might still go, no, I still want multiple quotes. That's okay. That's okay. But you tried, right? You tried to close the deal. And so that's the important part, because what happens is most people go, oh, I need to talk to my spouse. And you say, okay, I'll just follow up with you. Or even worse, you just say, okay, just let me know what you guys think, right? And you never hear from them again. I need to get multiple quotes. All right. Well, I guess let me know what you decide. Your price is too high. I'm sorry. Okay, have a good day. I need to think about it. No problem. I don't want to be a pushy sales guy, so just call me when you're ready, right? Most people are running businesses that way, by the way. Like, they don't try to figure out the objection at all. And it's just really not that hard. And everything I just said here is not pushy. I am not a freaking tie someone's hands behind their back, make them sign a contract sales guy. I don't believe in that at all. I believe in people making educated decisions. And I oftentimes believe that people need help making a decision. Okay. Like, you'll hear people say like, oh, I just need more time. Well, what I've learned is like, time doesn't help people make a decision. Information helps people make a decision. And I'm the only source of information you have. So what kind of questions can I answer for you? You guys see that? Like, how easy that is. Okay. But you have to practice this stuff. And so I need to think about it. Hey, totally understand. Let me ask you, when you say you need to think about it, what is it specifically you're wanting to think about? Because, hey, listen, they might need to think about it, and you do need to make sure that you're giving them the information they need in order to make an educated decision. Maybe you haven't given them all the information, which is why they feel like they need to think about it, right? Figure out what it is they want to think about, educate them, and give them the information to make a decision. The price is too high. I need to get more quotes. I need to talk to my spouse. These are all super easy ones, you guys. They're all super easy. And the I need to talk to my spouse can be eliminated prior to even arriving at the house. All right. Now, one little trick I want to give you guys, because I mentioned it a couple times, but I didn't actually tell you how to do it. When you're walking somebody around the house or you're selling them over the phone and you're going through your process of how you do this, of how you're going to service their home, how you're going to put the roof on, how you're going to wash the house, whatever it is, okay? At the end of that, you're going to look at them and go, John, question, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Where do you fall when it comes to our process of how we're going to do your roof? He's going to be like, a 10. Man, sounds great. And it's going to sound great because you're going to have this locked in and you're going to be way better than any other person that's come out and given them a quote. And you're going to ask John, how do you feel about our process? 1 out of 10. I'm a 10. Boom. Right? Because what's going to happen is when he comes and gives you the objection where, oh, I just need to think about it, or I need to get more quotes. Well, he just said you're a 10 out of 10. Why does he need to get more quotes? Is it a price thing? What if he tells you he just wants a good, honest service with a good warranty? You offer that. So let's take time out of the equation. Let's lock this in. Let's get your roofs installed on Friday and let's move on. Okay? And by the way, you guys, this doesn't work every time. But if you start practicing these things, I guarantee you're going to raise your close rate. Okay? And more than anything, you're going to waste less time because some of you guys are dealing with people who are price shoppers who aren't your customer, and they're telling you, we just need to think about it. But they have no they have no thought that they're actually going to ever work with you. They're just trying to get you out of their house, right? If I can figure that out before I leave, I can mark that lead as dead and move on and never waste my time following up with them, and they're not going to answer my calls, respond to my texts, my emails, whatever the case is. So if I can get the objection out and really understand what the real problem is, then oftentimes, if they're not your buyer, you're going to be able to waste less time in the future trying to follow up and close a deal that was never going to be closed in the first place. Okay? Hope this helps you guys. Any questions, shoot me an email. And as always, all the links to everything's in the show notes. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.